Hello dears, and welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna. We are in the loveliest Benidorm in Costa Blanca, Spain, and it's early morning. It's 9 a.m. and we'll show you the Rincon de Loix and the Levante Beach early in the morning so you could see are any of the places open for a lovely sunny breakfast and what the beach is looking like. This is how the beginning of the Levante Beach in Rincon de Loix is looking like right now. You know that in autumn/winter time, there's quite a lot of algae here, and technically and officially, no one is allowed to touch them. Look at the huge amount of algae that we have on the Levante Beach. That's absolutely insane, which is why also not a lot of people are coming here any longer. Simply because, well, you cannot really go to the water in these conditions. And these algae will be here. This seaweed will be here up until probably next year, springtime, which is when they will start picking it up to prepare the beach for the brand new summer season. But until then, this is what the beach will be looking like. And with each storm, with each strong wind, there's going to be more and more of these right here. Absolutely incredible. Probably due to the latest storm and wind, the amount of them increased so much. Right here at the beginning of the Levante Beach, there's a lot of lovely places where to eat, but we usually see a lot of tourists waking up and heading directly to the front line of the beach to try and find some nice cafeteria, typical Spanish bar maybe, or some places that do serve English breakfast. There's a lot of people, a lot of tourists like this here on the Levante Beach from first sunlight. And let's go and see how many things are actually open, because one thing is summertime, when at this point of the day we already have almost 30 degrees and it's really busy. But now, in autumn and winter season, it's quite different. Here in front of us, for example, we have the Cafe Roman. Nice place to have some lunch, even dinner. It's open up until late evening times, but right now, it's closed. Oh, they have menu of the day, mixed salads, asparagus with mayo, stewed lentils, fried chicken wings, grilled swordfish, or pork chops. Breakfast here, pancakes, toasts, typical Spanish breakfast. But so far they are closed. Maybe they will be opening up around from 10 in the morning. Right now it's 9 a.m. It's 9:05 to be exact. So this early, it's all closed. Even hotels on the terraces, it's still empty. Obviously in hotels, breakfast is usually served earlier. Starting from around 7:30 or 8 in the morning, the breakfast is already being served. But for all those who are on self-catering or who are staying at different apartments and love to go out for breakfast, this is what you might expect early in the morning. Only runners, people doing sports, having lovely walks, going out with their doggies, going out with friends, relatives, just to have a nice walk before breakfast or before the day start, or someone rushing to their job. This is what you will see. It's quite empty, and the businesses are not opening up so early any longer, simply because it doesn't really make sense in this part of Benidorm to have a cafeteria opening up from 8:30 a.m. right now in autumn/winter season. Look at the gorgeous views. The weather is so calm, so quiet comparing with the previous days when we had storm. We have very strong wind. Things were flying around, palm tree leaves and branches, chairs were flying around. It was madness here. But right now, everything looks so calm. Even the beach, the sea, there's barely any waves at all. The sun is shining, and this is the beauty of Benidorm town. This is the weather that you will usually see here in our loveliest touristic region. By the way, some people, especially when they're coming for the first time to Benidorm, don't really know it, but all our beach lines, Levante, Poniente Beach, they have the sunshine the whole day long. Once the sun goes up, that's it. Up until late evening time, there is sunshine. This beginning of Levante Beach, Rincon de Loix, has a tiny bit of shade because of the buildings, tall buildings that there are. But just in a half hour's time, everything will be covered with sunshine, which is why it's great, because you could spend the whole entire day on the beach if you would like to do so. Another cafeteria right here, still empty. They are opening up probably, so we'll be opening up shortly. They do serve English breakfast out here. 4 euros English breakfast. Big English breakfast, 5.50. That's actually a very good price for a big English breakfast. Spanish breakfast, croissant, toast with tuna and tomato, and some more things. They're opening up already right now. So from around 9:30, for sure, you will be able to come here. Special menus, 18.50. That's not the cheapest one. Coffee and crepe, 1 euro 70 from 9 in the morning. See, so they are about to open up then, it means. So from 9 something, you're able to come to this cafeteria to have some lovely breakfast. And full English breakfast, big one for 5.50. That's an incredible price. If we do remember it right, in a lot of other places, it's from 7 till 10 euros, a big one. So here for 5.50, that's actually great. If someone tried it in this place, let us know if it was a good breakfast or not. Here we have beach terrace, for example, English breakfast, 6.50. See, they even have Scottish breakfast. Baguettes, this one is open. This place, for example, is open. Even drinks, but who would grab a drink first thing in the morning? In summer, maybe a lot of people, a lot of tourists would, but right now in the winter, a nice breakfast, a cup of coffee, nice tea, maybe freshly pressed orange juice. That's the thing to go with. 2 places so far we've seen that are open from this early in the morning. Let's see if there's any more of them. But if you want to find some more options, the best thing to do would be to go to the city center, right where the parades are passing, right where the Alejop is located in the city center, close to the tapas alley. That's where there's way more cafeterias to have some lovely meal in the morning. Here the prices are all right at the Sol Beach Bar. Starters, toasts, sides. You could pause and go backwards if you want to. These are the beer bucket offers. 5 bottles. Oh, 5 bottles, 15 euros, 11 euros. Usual prices, maybe even slightly more expensive ones than the other bars out here. This terrace is preparing for its opening. Very popular place, by the way, for a lot of locals, not only tourists. And usually this restaurant slash cafeteria is quite full. It's located in the building, which is why it's called like this too. It's called Artigas 3 or the 3rd. And here is where you can get also some nice meals and some breakfast options. But they're preparing right now just yet for the breakfast time. At the end of the Levante Beach, we have 2 lovely cafeterias, just so that you know. One of them is Rico, the other one is Nabab. Great places, really, really recommended ones too. And this is a place where it will be open at 9 in the morning. Quite busy too. You might need to wait just a tiny bit of time before you will be served, but there is great breakfast options. There is different breakfast options too, international and typical Spanish, which is very important, the variety and the quality of products here. And apart from that, you will be seeing the loveliest old town and the part of the Levante Beach. So really recommended Rico and Nabab. If you know these cafeterias, let us know which do you prefer personally. Here are some more beach chiringuitos, as they call, which is like a beach bar. Ooh, authentic cocido, which is like a soup but with a lot of ingredients like stew. And this is typical Spanish from northern parts of Spain, and on Sundays they do prepare it here. So if you would like to discover it, we are more than welcome to do so on Sundays. Here we have starters. Oh, that's expensive. 12 euros garlic shrimps. Well, that's an average price. 12 euros for garlic shrimps. That's an average price. By the way, newspapers right here, you could have seen there is some, we call it kiosco or prensa, which is press. This is where you can buy newspapers. There are several places like this where you can buy newspapers, magazines. Even in English, a lot of them are being brought here because there's a lot of residents here that are international residents from UK, from Ireland, from US, from a lot of other countries. So press here is also international. And you can purchase it all. They do open up early in the morning. First time in the morning. What are the opening hours for a lot of places here on the Levante Beach? Obviously, if it's a cafeteria and breakfast place like Rico, Nabab, and a couple of others that are here nearby, their opening hours are from 8:30 or 9 in the morning, more or less, depending on the place. Some of them do open as early as 8:30 to serve breakfast even to workers that work somewhere here nearby and are willing to grab a quick coffee or a quick breakfast before they head down to the offices or work. Apart from that, typical lunch places usually open by 12, more or less, even a tiny bit earlier to prepare the kitchen. For example, here is La Bahia restaurant and cafeteria. They are open already for first morning coffees. All the rest of restaurants by midday they're opening up, then they might be closing around afternoon time, and others, if they cater mostly for international tourists, maintain themselves open up until late evening hours when they serve the dinner as the last meal. These type of places like King Coco usually opens up from afternoon, midday slash afternoon, towards the night time, because what they sell mostly are cocktails, different types of drinks, plus snacks. And these places, obviously in the morning, it doesn't really make sense to open it up unless it's summertime. But right now, they're opening up from midday slash afternoon. Apart from that, all the typical shops, Chinese bazaars, tattoo shops, all this usually are opening up either from 10 in the morning, which is the case of shops, from 10 in the morning up until late evening time. Spanish shops do close on midday for a typical Spanish siesta, which is between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. more or less. Some do open up at 4:30, others until 5. And then up until 9 or 10 in the evening, they stay open. International shops, mostly oriented to tourism, are open almost all single day without the siesta hours because they need desperately every single client to get in order to make their business profitable. These are the usual opening hours here in Benidorm on the Levante Beach. As you can see, the supermarket, this is the London supermarket. Do you remember when we made a video probably like a year ago when they've just opened it up? And I went inside and I've asked them why it's called London. Does it mean that they have English products or like any kind of international products inside, or why it's the case? And they said no, and they couldn't even say why it's called London. Probably that's just a name, but they use a British flag to attract British tourists. Another cafeteria, Las Damas. This is where you can try out breakfast, crepes, etc. Coffees, teas, different types of refreshing drinks. Spanish mostly meals, so no English breakfast itself, but typical Spanish meals, toast, croissant, bocadillos, all this fun, typical Spanish stuff. You can try it out here in these places. And to be honest with you, the prices are around the same that they would cost you in the city center or in other parts of Rincon de Loix. And being here just by the beach this early in the morning, it's so quiet. It's so nice, so lovely. It's not warm just yet, but the sun is kicking in quite hard. So probably in just a couple of hours time, we will have around 20 degrees in Benidorm, which is when more and more people will head out and maybe even walk down the beach. Even if there's algae, some people don't mind it. They think that it's quite good for your skin actually. So why not to have a lovely walk by the beach, which is what many people are doing. Others simply having a walk by the promenade and enjoying the gorgeous views towards Benidorm's skyline. Obviously, here nearby we have the Tiki Beach, an iconic place. Oh, they've put these new colorful strings. These are new. These weren't here before. These really colorful ones on the top. That's new. Maybe they're preparing for some kind of celebrations or they just decided to put it like this. But it is looking better. It's looking like summer-ish out here. Even in winter, it's very nice and obviously attracting people to come inside. All the rest of the bars here, as you can see, are all closed. So there is not as many options as you could think to have a breakfast, at least on the rincon part of the Levante Beach. Oh, tattoo and body piercing place also closing down. This one has been open up not for a long time, but apparently summer has ended and not much of a work is being done, if sadly it's on rent or for sale right now. As some end thoughts on today's walk, not so many places open. Better to go to the city center for breakfast or towards the end of the Levante Beach, which is where you have some nice breakfast options that we will show you to guys that side of the Levante Beach in the next videos. But right here, only 3 or 4 places that do serve a breakfast that early in the morning. So bear that in mind if you will be having a lovely walk searching for a nice breakfast at 9 a.m. on the beginning of the Levante Beach. Not so easy to find a place as it might seem. Thank you for accompanying us on today's short walk down the Levante Beach in Benidorm. Gorgeous views and sunshine is back to our town. We'll see you in a new video. Bye, dears.